Hello and welcome. My name is Debbie Gilbert from the Best Business Women Awards, and today I am joined by one of our new judges to our panel for 2020, the fabulous Lorraine Thomas. Lorraine is a founder of View From My Window, which is a property company which coaches on mentors and partners with budding entrepreneurs who really want to get on in the world of property but really don't know how to do that. So Lorraine has got so much to share with you today. She is a great asset to our judging panel this year. She's been involved in all kinds of different awards, board level discussions. So I know she's going to be a fabulous addition. So welcome, Lorraine.
Hi, Debbie. Thanks for having me this afternoon.
That's okay. So tell us a bit about your business and what made you start your business and what you do, and just give us that bit of background.
Yeah, that background. Okay. So my background is in business development and marketing, predominantly in the legal sector. But I have had the pleasure of working on a couple of really high profile brand projects. One at the CIPD, which is the body for personnel and people development, and one at their names escaped me. BPP, which is a private education provider. And both of these projects, I was there for a year rebranding them. So, just these institutions go back, way back. And it's just a privilege to see them transform into the 20th century. But most of my life actually has been spent around law firms.
Okay.
And I've really enjoyed that, getting into the lift. Time is money, pressing, the high pressure, and all of that. But there came a time when it was actually about 4.5 years ago, I gave up my job to care for my dad, who was suffering with Parkinson's and dementia. And I was just sick of the calls at work. I just couldn't focus, Debbie, on hearing that dad had fallen over or he hadn't taken his medication, all of these things that go with Parkinson's and dementia. So on £62.50 a week, I retired to look after him. And I did this for about a year, sleepless nights, all of that, fighting the NHS for, more care, all of that. And then I got this email, and the email was addressed to a Lorraine, but it was the wrong Lorraine. It was my friend Dolores, who I knew from church, and she was sending an email to somebody saying, can you help me out? Can you just look for some property for me for my business? And her business was looking after young adults that are looked after by the borough. So I responded, oh, that'd be really great. I could combine that 3 days a week with caring for dad. And I remember this little voice in my head when I left my job saying, don't worry, all will be well, I'll look after you. And that little voice just kept in the back of my mind. And so this email that wasn't meant for me, meant for another Lorraine, I responded to it and then took on this role looking for properties. I found I was really quite good at it, selling into landlords. And then Dolores and I said, why don't we try and do something ourselves? Off we went to auction, purchased our first property, made loads of mistakes, and our property journey began from there.
How long ago was this?
And this was, so this has been 2.5 years ago.
Wow.
So in that 2.5 years, we have bought a few properties at auction, we flipped them, and now we are building ground up. Totally different experience, but we're learning a lot. And so my focus now is to teach others. So stop making the mistakes that I made. So anybody that's new to property, I want to really focus now on mentoring people that want to get into property and think, how can I do it? How do I do it if I've not got a bulk of money, for instance? So that's it really, that's my journey.
What development are you working on at the moment? You said you're building it from the ground up. Where's that?
Yes, so we're doing 9 units, 2 houses, 6 apartments and a 3-bedroom penthouse in Croydon.
Oh my goodness me.
Yeah, and we got the land, secured the land without planning permission, and went through that whole process. And any seasoned developer will tell you to buy land without planning permission is tricky. Yeah.
So the land, you didn't even know if you could develop on it when you bought it?
No, but I just knew, I mean, something told me that it's a bunch of garages. It's in the middle of a residential area. There might, you know, the mayor is saying build, build, build. We've got a shortage of housing. Mm-hmm. So it was just taking that punt, being gutsy enough to take that punt. And my sister had driven past it and said, you know, Lorraine, look at that piece of land. And I bought it without actually telling her. Eventually I told her that it was me that bought the land, and one of those houses I'm hoping will be hers, because she, you know, in a 1-bedroom flat with her son, and it's tricky. So it's just the giving back really that excites me.
So you used to do, you were one of the examiners at the Chartered Institute of Marketing.
Yeah.
So that was like looking at people's, you know, not entries, but actual looking at their submissions and things.
Yes.
I bet that was quite interesting.
Very interesting. You have to mark several papers in a limited amount of time. So you're under pressure. And most examiners will tell you they're looking for keywords. So you can't read every word verbatim. You're looking for a theme. You know, you're looking against your model answer, and you're picking out those keywords, those differences, those ones that stand out. So what I would say is I've got an eye for capturing the on-point message and looking at, sometimes people don't always get it right. They don't always get it all right, but you can see where they're going with it. So it's deciphering if they're going to go off track, you know, once you read the end, or whether they're taking you to something that you hadn't thought about before, or that perhaps is not on the criteria, but it opens your eyes to something else. So it's just looking for those little nuggets in a paper.
And I think that's where you'll find with the award entries, there's such a big similarity to that, because essentially what people are doing is submitting a competition, if you like, a competition entry all about their business. So what sort of things do you think you'll be looking for in the entries?
So for me, I think the key is the storytelling. So, you know, you want to see that somebody's gone from A to B. Nobody just arrives there. And it's that journey and the challenges. How do they overcome those challenges? You know, it doesn't matter how small the numbers are. So they could have a complete set of accounts that are not massive, but the fact that they are growing and they've got a growth strategy, or they're looking at something innovative, or they've shifted the needle and changed the way that a process is done. They may even be a disruptor. I love disruptors, people that are turning things on their head or think that they can, you know, they're ballsy enough to think, I'm going to change that. And this is the process. This is the way I'm going to do it. Or we've done it. Hey, you know, so that's what I'm looking for. That point of difference that's quite unique, set against the other contestants. The other candidates. Yeah.
And at the moment with lockdown, how's things going with your business?
Yeah, lockdown. It's difficult, because in the property business, the government have said, you know, contractors can still work, but of course the suppliers can't. So many of us are stuck with contractors being on site, not able to work because they can't supply. But on the mentoring side, that's thriving, because a lot of that can be done online, and that's really growing. So it's, I guess for me, it was just working out a way that I could take myself out of that development. Oh, woe is me, the finances, and, you know, we're going to owe a lot more than we thought we'd owe. And thinking, well, what can I do about it? Channel my efforts into the thing that I really want to do, the thing that excites me, and that's mentoring.
Brilliant. Okay, well, we're really excited you're joining us this year. It's going to be another awesome year of the awards. We know that. If we can't do the awards this year, for whatever reason, we will be moving those amazing entries into next year. So no time spent on your entry is going to be wasted. and our judges will still get to do their judging. So it's great that you've joined us today. Delighted to have you on the panel, and we look forward to seeing you on the final.
I cannot wait. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine.
All right, thanks, Debbie.